Welcome back to the channel that brings you honest, accurate, and timely updates that directly impact your life. If you are one of the many South Africans over the age of 56 or already 60 and receiving the Old Age Grant, this video is especially for you. Because today, we are tackling one of the most talked about and potentially life-changing questions of the year: is a SASSA Old Age Grant boost finally coming in May 2025? Are we on the verge of seeing new financial support for those aged 56 to 59? Will existing old age grant recipients receive a much-needed top-up? And what exactly is happening behind the scenes at SASSA, Treasury, and the Department of Social Development that's causing so much buzz? In this report, we break down everything you need to know: the current speculation, the facts we've gathered, the signs pointing to change, and how you can prepare. This is not just a headline. This is about real impact for millions of older South Africans, especially those living on the edge of poverty, waiting for their government to finally step in and do more. So, grab a warm cup of tea or coffee, settle in, and make sure you watch until the very end. Because this might just be the news you've been waiting to hear. The forgotten group, South Africans aged 56 to 59. Let's begin by addressing a group of people who have long been forgotten in policy discussions: South Africans aged 56 to 59. This group, which numbers close to 1.9 million citizens, has been living in a form of social and financial limbo. Too old to be hired easily, too young to receive the old age grant, and often excluded from most forms of employment support, they are caught in an economic trap. Over the last few years, especially since the economic fallout from COVID-19, these individuals have found it increasingly difficult to survive. Many have been retrenched from formal jobs, while others are informal workers earning far below a livable wage. Despite this, they don't qualify for any existing social grant unless they are classified as disabled or are supporting dependents. This has created a vulnerable, invisible group, one that is not only struggling but also being overlooked in the national budget. But that tide is beginning to turn. Advocacy groups, pensioner forums, and civil society organizations have been lobbying for years for what they are now calling a pre-pension grant, a transitional financial support package for South Africans between 56 and 59. And with the May 2025 fiscal window approaching, we are hearing stronger hints than ever before that a change might finally be coming. You might be wondering, why May? Why now? Well, May is not just another random month on the calendar. For those who follow government and social grant activity closely, May has historically been a period of recalibration. It falls after the national budget announcements in February and after the first quarter financial reports are reviewed. In short, it's a time when government departments, particularly the Department of Social Development and SASSA, assess whether they need to make mid-year adjustments. In addition to that, the year 2025 holds even greater significance because of the political calendar. With national elections on the horizon and voter dissatisfaction at high levels, particularly among the elderly and unemployed, the government is under immense pressure to act. There's no stronger way to demonstrate concern for struggling communities than through social assistance. That's why many policy watchers believe that if a new benefit is to be announced for older South Africans aged 56 and above, it's going to happen in this window, May 2025. One of the strongest indicators that a grant increase or expansion may be on the cards comes directly from Treasury. In February's national budget, an additional R34 billion was earmarked for social wage and protection expansion. This phrase may sound vague, but for analysts and economists, it's a red flag that big changes are on the table. While no explicit breakdown was provided, some insider briefings revealed that part of this R34 billion has been allocated to age-related support extension. That term has led many to believe that this could mean either a boost to the old age grant, or, for the first time, the rollout of a phased pre-retirement support grant starting at age 56. This would not be entirely unprecedented. Globally, countries facing aging populations and weak employment rates among older citizens have introduced what are known as bridging pensions or transition support. These grants help people as they move from the workforce into retirement and prevent deepening poverty in those final years of working age. If South Africa adopts a similar model, and all signs suggest they might, the most logical entry point for such a plan would be May 2025. Though there has been no official announcement yet from Social Development Minister Linda Zulu, we know that her department has recently received petitions and draft proposals calling for urgent support for the 56 to 59 age group. Additionally, the department has been working with academic researchers and financial analysts to explore what a pre-pension grant might look like in practice. Leaked summaries from one of these advisory meetings suggest that the idea under review involves introducing a monthly grant in the range of R1,200 to R1,400, specifically for unemployed individuals aged 56 to 59 who earn below a certain threshold. The idea is to create a support ladder that leads naturally into the old age grant, rather than allowing older workers to fall into poverty first. Moreover, political pressure is mounting. Some ANC structures, especially in rural provinces like the Eastern Cape and Limpopo, are lobbying hard for this change to be included in the 2025 social development agenda. With elections approaching, this may be one of the only opportunities to prove that the government is listening to its people. Even if a new pre-pension grant is not yet announced, seniors aged 60 and above should brace for another form of relief, a possible grant top-up in May. The old age grant currently stands at R2,180 for individuals aged 60 to 74, and R2,200 for those 75 and older. This amount, however, is rapidly losing value due to inflation, especially when it comes to food, energy, and transport. A recent study showed that elderly households now spend nearly 60% of their grant just on groceries, leaving very little for utilities, medication, or other essentials. This has led social justice organizations to push for an immediate R150 top-up. Treasury sources haven't confirmed this amount, but there are growing signs that R100 to R150 increase could be introduced as early as May 2025 as a temporary relief measure. This would raise the standard old age grant to between R2,280 and R2,330 per month, depending on your age bracket. While not a full solution, it would at least ease some pressure for now, especially for those living alone or without family support. One very real possibility is that government will start small, testing the pre-pension grant through a pilot program in select provinces before rolling it out nationally. This is exactly how the COVID-19 SRD R350 grant was first introduced, limited at first, then gradually expanded. If this approach is followed again, the first rollout may occur in high-poverty provinces like KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape, or Mpumalanga. Recipients would be selected based on income, employment status, and possibly family support structures. Over time, if successful and affordable, this pilot could become a full national program by early 2026. This is important for viewers aged 56 to 59. It means you should start preparing now by updating your SASSA records, ensuring your identification documents are current, and staying alert to any announcements in your area. If you're already 60 or older and receiving the old age grant, there's not much paperwork to do. But you should stay informed and prepare for any top-up or additional benefit announcements in May. If you're aged 56 to 59, however, now is the time to get proactive. Visit your nearest SASSA office and update your details. Make sure your contact number, address, and income information are correctly recorded. Ask your local community center or pensioner group if they've heard of any pilot registration efforts. Even though nothing is confirmed yet, those who are early and ready are usually the first to benefit when a new program is rolled out. Also consider joining a pensioner advocacy group. Many of them are directly in contact with SASSA and the Department of Social Development, and their pressure is what often leads to pilot programs becoming permanent. A new era for seniors may be beginning. In conclusion, South Africa stands on the brink of what could be a historic expansion of the social safety net. The pressure is mounting. The funding is slowly being made available. And the people are demanding change. While nothing is 100% guaranteed yet, May 2025 could mark the beginning of a new era for South Africa's older citizens, one in which financial dignity is extended earlier, not just at 60. One in which the grant system is modernized to reflect real-life economic hardships. And one in which the government proves that it sees and hears the cries of those aged 56 to 59. We'll be watching developments very closely. If SASSA or the Department of Social Development confirms any changes, whether it's a grant top-up or a new pre-pension grant, we will break the news right here on this channel. If you found this report informative, please do us a huge favor and click the like button. It helps us reach more seniors who need this information. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss a breaking update that could affect your benefits, your household, and your future.